Bears fans, you're not ready for this. I've got 7 big updates that prove the Ben Johnson effect is completely transforming Chicago's offense. From Caleb Williams looking sharper than ever, to explosive red zone numbers, to a system that finally feels like real football in Chicago, this is the kind of start we've been waiting for. And trust me, the last update might just shock you. So stay with me, because you don't want to miss a single detail. The Ben Johnson effect has been impossible to ignore in Chicago. 3 weeks into the season, this Bears offense finally looks like the real deal. The difference compared to last year is night and day: smoother routes, smarter blocking, and Caleb Williams playing with a new level of poise and confidence. Just look at the early numbers. The Bears rank 9th in scoring, averaging over 25 points per game. They're 11th in passing yards, with Caleb throwing for 234 a game. Even the rushing attack, though inconsistent, sits in the middle of the pack. But the real eye-opener? Third downs and red zone. Chicago is converting 46% on third down and cashing in touchdowns on 86% of red zone trips. That's third best in the entire NFL. And here's where you come in. If you love getting daily Bears news and want to keep up with every big storyline, go ahead and like this video and hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot, and you'll never miss a Bears update. Now, back to Caleb Williams. His growth has been remarkable. A year ago, he opened the season with 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. This year? 7 total touchdowns, just 1 pick, and his passer rating has skyrocketed by more than 40 points. He's hitting deep throws, staying calm under pressure, and proving he can be the guy in this system. Bottom line, the Ben Johnson effect is real. It's showing up in the stats, on the field, and in Caleb's confidence. If the run game can give them just a little more support, this Bears team has a legitimate shot to finish as a top 10 offense by the end of the year. And for Chicago fans, that's something we haven't been able to say in a very long time. Bear down. 3 games into the season, the Chicago Bears offense looks nothing like the unit fans suffered through last year. The transformation has been dramatic, and the numbers tell the full story. First, let's talk about scoring. The Bears rank 9th in the league, averaging over 25 points per game. For a team that struggled to find the end zone in 2024, that's a huge leap forward. Points on the board mean this offense is finally keeping pace with the best in football. Through the air, Chicago sits 11th in passing offense, putting up 234 yards per game. Caleb Williams has settled in nicely, finding rhythm with his receivers and consistently moving the ball downfield. It's not just about volume, it's about efficiency, and right now, Williams is producing at a level that puts the Bears in the top half of the league. On the ground, the Bears are middle of the pack, averaging 113 rushing yards per game. While not elite, that balance forces defenses to respect both dimensions of the offense. When you pair a steady ground attack with a rapidly improving passing game, it makes Chicago much harder to defend. Third down has been another big difference. The Bears are converting 46% of their third downs, keeping drives alive and wearing down defenses. That's a massive improvement compared to last season, when stalled drives constantly killed momentum. But the real headline? Red zone efficiency. Chicago is scoring touchdowns on 86% of trips inside the 20, the third best mark in the NFL. That's not luck, that's execution, preparation, and trust in the system. Across every category, this offense has grown year over year. The Bears aren't just competent anymore, they're becoming dangerous. And if the first 3 games are any indication, this surge is only the beginning. Caleb Williams has taken a massive step forward this season, and it's showing in every aspect of his game. Last year, his flashes of talent were often overshadowed by turnovers, inconsistency, and the growing pains of a rookie adjusting to the NFL. But in year 2, the growth is undeniable. Williams is quickly becoming the player Chicago hoped for when they drafted him. The first big improvement is efficiency. Caleb is throwing fewer passes, but gaining more yards. That means he's making smarter decisions, taking what defenses give him, and striking with precision when opportunities open up. His accuracy has climbed significantly, and the numbers prove it: fewer interceptions, more touchdowns, and a passer rating that's jumped by more than 40 points compared to this time last season. Decision-making has also matured. Williams isn't forcing plays the way he did a year ago. He's protecting the football, trusting his reads, and putting his offense in winning situations. The turnovers that once killed drives are turning into scoring opportunities, and the Bears are reaping the benefits. Another area where he's made a leap is the deep ball. A year ago, his downfield accuracy was shaky. Now, he's connecting on nearly half of his throws beyond 20 yards. That kind of improvement opens up the entire offense, making defenses play honest and giving his receivers more chances to create explosive plays. Perhaps most impressive is his poise under pressure. Caleb's pocket presence has grown by leaps and bounds. Instead of panicking when protection breaks down, he's keeping his eyes downfield, sliding to buy time, and delivering strikes. That calmness is the mark of a quarterback who is learning to control the game. Bottom line, Caleb Williams isn't just improving, he's evolving into a complete quarterback. If he keeps growing at this pace, the Bears may finally have their franchise cornerstone. The Chicago Bears' offensive turnaround isn't just showing up on the scoreboard, it's written all over the advanced metrics. Numbers that once buried this team at the bottom of the league are now placing them among the NFL's most efficient offenses. Start with expected points added, or EPA. Chicago ranks 11th, meaning their offense is consistently creating positive plays and adding real value on every drive. That's a huge jump from a year ago, when EPA painted the Bears as one of the least efficient units in football. Pro Football Focus grades back it up too. Sitting 12th overall, the Bears are now firmly in the top half of the league in offensive grading. It shows how balanced the improvement has been, from the line, to the receivers, to Caleb Williams himself. Quarterback metrics might be the most impressive. Williams ranks 9th in QBR and 6th in passer rating, putting him shoulder to shoulder with established veterans. For a rookie just 3 games into his career, that combination of efficiency and composure is remarkable. He's not just managing games, he's producing like a star. And when it comes to putting points on the board, no stat says it louder than touchdown passes. Williams is tied for second in the entire NFL in that category, showing his ability to finish drives and punish defenses downfield. On third downs, the Bears have been elite. On red zone trips, they've been clinical. These are the high-pressure situations that separate average teams from contenders, and Chicago is thriving in both. Put it all together, and the advanced stats confirm what fans can already see: this isn't the same Bears offense. It's sharper, more confident, and already ranking with some of the NFL's best. And the scary part? They're just getting started. The Chicago Bears offense doesn't just look different this year, it feels completely re-engineered under Ben Johnson. His scheme has brought a new level of creativity and detail that's allowing Caleb Williams and the rest of the unit to thrive. One of the biggest shifts has been the variety of route concepts. Players like odunze aren't just lining up in one spot and running predictable patterns, they're being moved around the formation, creating mismatches and forcing defenses to adjust. That flexibility has opened up explosive plays that were missing in years past. Play action is another area where the Bears have taken a leap. Last season, they used it on just over 21% of snaps. This year, it's nearly 30%. The results speak for themselves. Caleb Williams is calm, decisive, and highly effective when selling the fake and firing downfield. For a quarterback who didn't work much under center in college, his transition into a play-action-heavy offense has been seamless. Motion has also become a signature of Johnson's system. A year ago, the Bears ranked 19th in pre-snap and at-snap motion. Now, they're all the way up to 6th in the league. Motion stresses defenses, creates clearer reads for Williams, and often gives receivers a running start into their routes, a small detail that makes a big difference in separation. And that's the heart of Johnson's impact: details. Spacing on routes, timing, even the depth at which plays are run, it's all meticulously designed. When DJ Moore or Luther Burden run their patterns at just the right depth, it opens up throwing lanes and maximizes Williams' accuracy. The result? A Bears offense that looks disciplined, dynamic, and far more difficult to defend than anything Chicago has fielded in recent memory. If there's one unit flying under the radar in Chicago's offensive resurgence, it's the offensive line. 3 weeks into the season, this group has quietly taken major strides, giving Caleb Williams the time and comfort to grow within Ben Johnson's system. Early in the year, protection was shaky at times, especially against Minnesota's pressure and Detroit's front. But since then, the improvement has been noticeable. The pockets have been cleaner, communication is sharper, and Caleb is trusting the line enough to stand tall and go through his progressions. Braxton Jones still has moments where he's tested by elite edge rushers, but overall, the arrow is pointing up. The run game is still a work in progress. Right now, the Bears sit 15th in rushing yards per game, but a big chunk of that production comes from Caleb himself. The running backs are averaging just 3.4 yards per carry, which isn't going to cut it over a full season. If that number can creep into the low fours, say 4.2 yards per attempt, it changes everything. Defenses would be forced to respect the run more, which in turn makes the play-action game even deadlier. What stands out, though, is that the offense doesn't feel one-dimensional. Even without elite runners, the line has opened enough lanes to keep defenses honest. If consistency builds and the backs start finding rhythm, Chicago's attack could shift from dangerous to balanced and complete. That's the next step. With Williams' efficiency and the wide receivers playing at a high level, an improved ground game could vault the Bears into true top 10 offense territory. The pieces are there, the protection is stabilizing, and if the run game joins the party, this unit will be one of the toughest to stop in the league. Writing the biggest question left in Chicago is simple: can the run game catch up with the rest of this offense? Through 3 weeks, Caleb Williams and the passing attack have already proven they can be explosive and efficient. The scheme is working, the protection is stabilizing, and the receivers are making plays all over the field. But without steady production from the running backs, the Bears' offense is still leaning heavily on Caleb to do just about everything. Right now, Chicago sits middle of the league in rushing. It's serviceable, but not threatening enough to tilt defenses out of their comfort zone. If the backs can push their production into the 4 yards per carry range, the ripple effect could be massive. Play action becomes even more dangerous, defensive fronts have to respect both phases, and suddenly the Bears look balanced, the kind of balance that wins late in the year. What's most encouraging is that this system looks sustainable. Caleb is not just flashing talent, he's showing growth in decision-making, accuracy, and composure. Ben Johnson's offense is maximizing every weapon on the field and creating a rhythm Chicago hasn't seen in years. So here's the outlook: if the running backs give just a little more, the Bears could absolutely finish as a top 10 offense in 2025. That's not wishful thinking, the numbers already point in that direction. For a fan base that has lived through decades of offensive frustration, this feels different. The quarterback is special, the coaching is sharp, and the foundation is solid. It's not just hype anymore. This is real progress, and it's giving Chicago something it rarely gets on this side of the ball: genuine optimism. And with that, there's only one thing left to say: bear down.